Hey everyone, I hope you're well. So I'm sitting here thinking today, I'm constantly seeing that I'm overcoming this, I'm fighting this, I'm battling this. The MS warriors, the fight against cancer, all these types of things. And I'm like, do they realize what they're doing? This is the path to keep the things the same. If you fight cancer, cancer is likely to stick. If you warrior battle MS, it's likely to stick, to stay in place, because you're focusing on that. And what you focus on expands. That we're constantly practicing the law of attraction. But actually, we're not practicing, we are the law of attraction. What our predominant thoughts are become our reality. So if you're stressed, you're going to get more stressed. If you're worried, you'll have more things to worry about. If you're anxious, you'll have more things to be anxious about. That's the way the universe works. And it all stems from forgetting who we are and the power we wield with our thoughts and our emotions. So who are we really? We're not taught this. You're not going to find this in a book, in a video outside of yourself. It's about learning to be still and quiet and tuning into who you really are. The consciousness, the one who sees through the eyes, the one who touches, feels. But we're not taught any of this. And I see this constantly in these support groups with chronic illness, chronic fatigue. They're just constantly talking about how tired they are, the medicines they're taking, what's going on, their difficulties. And they're really talking about their difficulties quite a bit. And what do you think happens when you talk about your difficulties continuously? They become sticky. They stick, they hang around. So we need to see, oh, I'm feeling tired and fatigued. We don't want to discount that, but then we would say, okay, how do I move beyond this? How do I move beyond this feeling, this issue, this concern, this illness, this disease? Sometimes it's using our imagination, or sometimes it's feeling good. The best thing we can do in this moment is to feel good, to have a good attitude in this moment, to realize that everything's working out in your favor, even when it doesn't seem this way. And this is why I offer now, introductory head trash healing sessions, because it's nearly impossible for me to describe what I do. It's something you need to experience. That I call myself a head trash healer, because I get that head trash out of the way and help you remember who you are. Spirit, soul, consciousness, connected to all that is, connected to God, source, universe, whatever you wish to call it. But we can't allow this language to trip us up. His mind gets hung up and attached to meanings of words, and it's not that important. It's more important your emotional state. Do you feel like you're battling, feel like you're fighting, feel like you're overcoming something? That's the wrong path. That's going to keep that in place. So we need to relax and dive deeper into who we really are. That the real you will be here after this body departs. And this is not your first body. There's all sorts of proof, if you will, on reincarnation. There's all these stories that don't logically make sense. It's impossible for a 2 or 3-year-old to know so much about a war, so much about this or that, when they don't really even know how to read at that point or talk. And yet we run into these children that are really way beyond their years. And I personally had a direct experience of somebody reincarnating. It was my ex-wife. Her grandfather died. He had a really close connection with his great-grandson. But when he died, I saw that he became the great-grandson's baby. You can see all the mannerisms, all the behaviors. When he was on 2-3, you can see all the mannerisms of his great-grandfather. They were all there. But then, his father died. So it made sense that he had to have that skills, those abilities to help take care of the family, to be the stable force in the family as he grows up without a father. But it's interesting how this interplay. There's a show out there I just start to watch again, The Ghost Within My Child. Talk about this reincarnation. that we are the energy, we are the consciousness going in and out of all these bodies. Because look at all the pictures of yourself over the years. What changed? The body was constantly changing, your thoughts were constantly changing, evolving, more striving, more fighting, more battling. But the essence of you never is changing, and it's never harmed or damaged by the human experience. The mind throws that darkness into things, but we can peel that back, we can remove that head trash, and just remember who you are. So I'll drop a link in the comments for that free, head trash healing session, so you can experience what I do. I only do a few of these a day because they're pretty intense as we pull that head trash out of you. Well, not intense for you, because you're the one just receiving that energy. So you'll feel like peace and ease, maybe an emotional release. Everyone has different reactions. Somebody laughed for 2 hours after a session because they saw all the stories that they were taking as their truth were just stories, not truth. All these beliefs that we're getting into. So let go of the battling, let go of the fighting, letting go of the overcoming, letting go of all this resistance, and just diving deeper into who we really are. This is the essence of my teaching, is mine has all these stories, these beliefs, but we're not them. And we're not this body, and we're not this mind. They're just vessels, tools for our human experience. But we get hung up on the worst case scenarios. We need to acknowledge those issues, but we don't want to dwell in that space. Yes, your knee may hurt, your arm may hurt, you may have a headache, you may have cancer, multiple sclerosis. Well, the body has those issues. Spirit is never touched. And we get the body back into harmony by remembering who we are, and allow your spirit, your soul, your consciousness to do the healing. Like when I was sick for 38 years, that was too big of a leap for the mind to make. I couldn't heal myself. That was impossible. That's impossible for the mind. When I let go of the mind, cleared my head trash, and allowed spirit to direct the healing. So the inner matches the outer. And we all have this ability. We're all spirit, we're all consciousness, we're all inner being, like Thich Nhat Hanh would say. The state of inner being, that we're all interconnected. So in my sessions, I actually merge with your soul, and I allow spirit to lead the show, if you will. I just become a conduit. That's the best way I could describe it. So are you ready to let go? Are you willing to change? A lot of times I see people are not willing to change. They're in their comfort zone. The mind doesn't care if you're pain, suffering, not able to enjoy life, but it's familiar. So your mind keeps you there. So take that leap of faith in yourself and say, I'm going to spend a minute, 2, 5 minutes a day, schedule a session, and remember who I am by learning to be present. That we're either in the mind or we're here, feet on the floor, seeing the room, touching the shirt. We're just fully here in this moment. That's all that's required of us. But we get so hung up on all the things that are wrong, all the scarcity. We need to let that go. The energy within you created the universe. Think of all that power within you, and the mind's putting on those brakes, the restrictions, the limitations, saying, no, you cannot have this. Well, why not you? Why not live life on your terms? You have this power within you. Are you ready to unleash that power within you and live the life that you were meant to live? All right, I think that's enough for today. Hopefully I'll see you in my groups as well. If you're Relief from Chronic Illness on Facebook, and Beyond Head Trash on Facebook as well. I'm out there, I'm available, because you don't need to suffer like I did for 38 years, losing the ability to walk, constant migraines, constant pain, constant everything. Life was a mess, very heavy, very messy. But we need to be in a place of spirit, light, joy, free, and happy. You got this. I believe in you. Take good care of yourself.